welcome to my vlog. So it's nearly December. I can't believe how quick the weeks are going. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I've only got one full week left at work now until the new year, and it's going by so quick that I'm not entirely sure. It's a little bit unnerving, but so I've decided that I'm going to do vlogs highlighting like my top moments of 2010. There's been quite a few, so I'm going to break it down into like separate vlogs, otherwise it'll take 3 hours to go through. So there's going to be like vlogs about things that have meant most to me, or things that have been exciting, things that have happened to me over the last 12 months. Just kind of as like a recap for the year, because I think you kind of take for granted everything that happens in 12 months. Once it gets to December, it's all a bit Christmas crazy. So the first one I'm going to talk about, I've got a little prop that I'll just... that kind of helped explain it. You can see that. Which is my award from the Michael Ball TV show. Now, there's kind of a prequel to this in that I'm quite good friends with the son of the person who runs Michael Ball's fan club. And they were doing a pilot for the Michael Ball show. And Chris sort of sent me a message on Facebook saying, oh, can I put you and your mum forward for doing a piece on the pilot, because they needed somebody who they know had got a good sense of humour and that. And I've already got a bit of a history of talking crap to Michael, because I've met him a couple of times, and both times managed to make a complete moron of myself. So when Chris kind of said, oh, do you mind me putting your name forward? I went, yeah, whatever, I don't really mind, thinking nothing of it. Within the space of about 12 hours, Chris had put our name forward, the bloke from Spungold TV had rung and spoken to me and my mum, and they'd signed us up, booked our tickets, and we were going. I think it was probably about a week later. We kind of thought, oh, you know, it'll be a bit of a laugh. We didn't really know what to expect. And we went down in February, I think it was around Valentine's Day. And they treated us fantastic. They booked our train tickets. We had a blacked out car, chauffeur driven car, to pick us up from Euston. Dropped us at the BBC studios in White City. And we had our own dressing room, because there was quite a lot of sitting around, because we had to be there for like the sound check, and then we kind of just hung around till the filming at about 7:30 at night, I think it was. So we kind of just hung out, and we were in the dressing room next to Westlife, who were on the Jonathan Ross show at the time. Which was really quite cool. We were just like, me and Mum went to the toilet, and like the White City is like, the building's like a big kind of circle, like with a courtyard in the middle, so you kind of go round in circles when you're going anywhere, and we were kind of just walking around to the toilets, and I saw this bloke and he kind of looked at me, and he looked at me as if to say, I'm sure I should recognise you, but I don't. And I looked at him and I thought, I know your face from somewhere, and I couldn't quite place it. Well, we carried on walking and ended up going around in a whole circle to get the loo. And when we came back, there was another 4 guys standing next to him. And it wasn't until one of them spoke with an Irish accent, and I kind of looked at them, my mum looked at them, that we recognised that it was Westlife. And me and Mum were like... we were quite cool. We just kind of went, all right, and carried on walking. We had no idea what the challenge was. They hadn't told us what, because they do a thing called Ballette of the Week, and they hadn't told us what the challenge was, so we kind of got no idea what was going on. We just plodded along quite happily, and obviously we met Michael and had a bit of a chat with Michael, and he was lovely. And then it came to like the filming of the challenge, and we saw that it was pottery wheels. Now, I've never done pottery other than make some rubbish Robin Hood when I was at school. Mum's done it a bit, but not for quite a long time. But they were like proper like electronic wheels, and we kind of sat down and went to do the challenge. And then Michael made some comment about because it was apparently we were reenacting a scene from Ghost, something to do with it being Valentine's Day and a romance. They wanted to do like the pottery to do like with the film Ghost. So Michael said something about, you can't do this on your own, you need ball boys. To which me and Mum, I really, honest to God, had no idea what was going on. Next thing we know, I'll put a photo in a minute to show you what I'm talking about. I'll probably get shot for that, because they made me sign a copyright waiver. But I hope to God, if anyone's watching this, please don't sue me. I'm not gonna broadcast the video, because it's not my place to do so, but I will put a picture of what I'm about to talk about on there. And yeah, so he said you don't want to be on your own. You need some ball boys, and on came these 2 half-naked, baby-oiled male models. Just came wandering on, and me and Mum were like, I was quite excited. Mum really had no idea. She'd never seen ghosts, so she didn't know what was going to happen. I, of course, knew what was coming when they came on, because I've seen the bit of ghost that they're talking about. So they started playing bloody Unchained Melody, and these male models just basically groped me and my mum while we were trying to make pottery. And I say, I'll put a couple of pictures on now. And to be fair, my model was really quite handsome. He kissed me at one point after I'd done the pottery. I don't really remember it, but I've got it on DVD, and if you watch it, he kisses me, and I was like, and I made some comment about, Michael told me to concentrate, and I said something about, you try concentrating, because I've got this half-naked baby old man groping me. It was brilliant. Yes, and then, I mean, the whole day was just amazing. We had the best time. It was just, I mean, everyone at the BBC, we had a runner who looked after us in the day, and we saw quite a few people. We saw like Gary Lineker just wandering around the corridor like any other normal person. It was like, we kept going, I know his face, I know her face, why do I know her? Michael was an absolute sweetheart. He made us feel so welcome, and look, he really did look after us, because he was nervous as we are, because obviously it was his show that they were doing the pilot for. And it was just the most incredible few days. I've never in my life, I mean, we both said that's just a one-off thing, it'll never happen again, you know. It was an experience more than anything. Just, I mean, obviously to be at the BBC and have a show for Driven Car, and to kind of have the experience of being on the telly and being able to have a laugh and a joke with Michael and that. So that was that. And then probably about a month after, they'd said that they were going to do the series. They'd liked the pilot and they wanted to do the whole series, and I honestly never thought anything of it until we got an email and a phone call from the BBC saying that they enjoyed me and my mum so much on the pilot that they wanted us to be the Ballette Challenge on the first show of the new series. And I thought, oh God, and I asked my mum, and she was like, yeah, let's go, because obviously she's a massive Michael fan. So we went again, and that was the end of August? Yeah, beginning of August, I think. So we went down again, same again, you know, they paid for our train fare and got us a car from the station and stuff, and it was kind of different this time, because obviously it was a proper show, and they filmed, I think, 3 shows a day, so we were actually the third people to film, but the first people in the series. And it was just, I mean, again, it was the challenge this time was to do with 2 Great Danes and an agility course, which is quite fun. I mean, I love dogs anyway, and my mum's had dogs when she was little, but I'd never really had anything to do with like big dogs. So this, I mean, I think if you go on the internet and go on YouTube or something, actually if I remember, I'll upload, because I can publish that one, because obviously it was on the television. It was brilliant. I mean, we did this agility course with the dogs, and the BBC looked after us so well that day. You know, we had to go and meet the dogs before the show, because obviously they're big dogs and they didn't want them to like break our necks or anything. And I won that challenge. My mum won the pottery challenge, which is it's going to happen, because I was so excited about being molested by a male model that I really wasn't concentrating on my pot, whereas my mum was so intent on the pot, she kept like batting the model away because she wanted to win. So my mum won the first one, I won the second one, which is where this comes from. Ooh, Ballette of the day. That's the crowning moment of my life. I'm cool. I've got a Michael Ball award. But again, Michael looked after us so well that day. And it was really cool just to have kind of a day where you were kind of treated like a celeb or something, and it was an experience that I will never in my life forget. Both times we went were just, it was just brilliant. I can't even explain just how amazing it was. But the thing that really wound me up was about the week after, because they filmed the show for about 6 weeks, I think. The week after me and my mum went, Ramin was on the show. And I was like, why the hell was he not on the one I was on? To be fair, I wouldn't have been able to talk if he was, so it's probably quite a good idea that he wasn't on. But yeah, so that's kind of the one highlight. And these highlights that I'm doing aren't going to be in any particular, you know, scale of 1 to 10. They're all as exciting as each other for different reasons. This bloody cat. You alright, mate? Madge. Come on. Hello, sweet. Come say hello. Come here. There's magic. Yeah, say hello. What you doing? What you doing? So, yeah, so that was, that was not just a highlight of the year, it was honestly, it was one of the best things I've ever done in my life, because it was just, I say it was one of these experiences that you'll never repeat, and we'll never get to do it again, she says. And it was just, it was so nice to, to have, like, to see how TV shows work, obviously, because I used to go and see Gladiators be filmed like years ago in Birmingham, but it's not the same. So it was really interesting. It was really interesting from my point of view to see how films are shown and how they're made and what goes on. But obviously also it was just amazing to spend so much time with Michael, and to be able to see him in work mode. He was so nice and he was so kind and understanding. He really kind of looked after us. And we just had the best time. So that's one of the highlights of the year, was my 2 trips to the BBC. I'll do another vlog either during this week or next week, I'm not quite sure, about like my next highlight of the year. But yeah, so it was crazy times, but it was good times. I enjoyed myself. So that was my vlog for this week. Other than that, not a lot's happened. It's very quiet. Work's been a bit crazy times, but I say I'm going into my last full week of work now until 2011, so it won't be too bad. You know, we've got staff Christmas dues and all kind of stuff coming up, so that's about it. I shall see you very soon. Bye.